Hey friends, I am back today to share with you all about week 37 of my pregnancy. So in week 37, baby is the size of romaine lettuce. This week, much like the rest, I haven't had any food cravings or food aversions in particular. And my symptoms this week have been pretty similar to what they were in my last update. I'm still dealing with swollen feet and ankles, trouble sleeping at night, and some lower abdomen cramping. One kind of symptom, I guess, that I forgot to mention in my last update is that, of course, my belly has continued to grow. I've continued to gain weight, and I have very few clothes that fit now. I have really just one pair of maternity pants that fit, and then a few shirts that still kind of fit. So that's a bit of a challenge. I basically just wear pajamas all day because I have nothing else to wear. Unless I have to go out somewhere, then I'll put on the one pair of maternity leggings that fit and then a shirt and a jacket. At this stage in my pregnancy, there's no point in me going out and getting bigger size maternity clothes since I'm so close to the end. So I'm just dealing with what I have and making it work. A couple new symptoms to quickly mention that I've had this week. The first one being an increase in the amount of acne on my face, particularly around my mouth. It's really bad. They're just like those really deep, painful breakouts, and they're just like all over the place. And it's not fun, but there's not much I can do about it. And then another symptom I've had this week is just this overall feeling of restlessness. And I think it's just getting so close to baby being here. I'm just starting to feel, I don't know if I really feel anxious. I guess I do feel a little anxious. But I just kind of have this restless feeling to where like I just don't know what to do with myself. It's still kind of cold and rainy here, and you know, the flu's going around, and then there's been a coronavirus outbreak not too far from where we are, and so going out and about a lot is probably just not the best idea, with not even just the coronavirus thing, but just the flu and cold and viruses going around in general right now. So yeah, I just feel kind of just restless, and I'm more excited than anything for this baby to be here and for him to be born and for us to meet him. And so I'm ready for that, and it's just a matter of waiting for him to make his appearance. And I feel a little restless, so I'm trying to fill my time and find little projects here and there to do to keep my mind off things as much as I can, although that's pretty difficult to do. But yeah, that's it as far as major symptoms that I've had this week. I've had several of you ask me about like any embarrassing symptoms that I've had, or like TMI pregnancy symptoms, and I've been pretty honest throughout all of my pregnancy updates as far as what I've been experiencing week to week, but I guess to just kind of recap overall from my pregnancy so far. The first trimester, I know I mentioned in my first trimester updates that I dealt with a lot of gas and digestive issues like diarrhea, which is definitely TMI. I know a lot of women, from what I've read during pregnancy, deal with constipation. I am happy to say, thankfully, that I haven't had to deal with that. I don't know if I'm in the minority there with that, but that hasn't been my experience at all. But as far as like any other embarrassing symptoms, I haven't really had any that I can think of aside from those two things that I just mentioned. Someone else asked if I've gotten any stretch marks, and on my belly, surprisingly, I don't have any stretch marks. I know that sometimes after you give birth and your belly starts to shrink down, the stretch marks kind of become more noticeable, but as of right now, I don't have any on my belly, but I do have stretch marks on my butt cheeks. So there's that. But other than that, I don't have stretch marks anywhere else that I can tell. So another exciting thing that happened this week was that I had my 37-week prenatal checkup. Everything looked great. My blood pressure was normal, baby's heart rate was normal. Those were two concerns from the previous weeks, and everything with that looked good. My OB decided to do another ultrasound that day just to check on baby again, make sure my amniotic fluid levels were good, and make sure that his heart and everything was normal and looking good. And so I had that ultrasound done. She just did it right there in the office, and everything looks great with him. My fluid levels were normal. His measurements were right on track. He's still, at that point, it was the day I turned 37 weeks. So I think he was measuring just under 6 pounds at that point, which again, I know he could be weighing more or less. That's not really like a super accurate prediction according to what my doctor says. So, but yeah, everything was looking good. She said that the position he's in right now is in a really good position for birth, and that his head is already low and in my pelvis. So I know I had mentioned last week that I hadn't experienced that feeling of lightning, or you know, that feeling when the baby drops into the pelvis. Apparently he's already there, so I guess I just didn't really notice a huge difference in my overall feeling as far as him dropping. So it's really good to know and really reassuring that everything is looking great and he's in a good position. During my 37-week appointment, I did not have her do a cervical check just because I had previously been checked around 36 weeks. So I just didn't feel like I probably had made a whole lot of progress at that point, since it only had been like 4 or 5 days. So at my 38-week appointment, I'll have her check me, assuming I'm still having like those mild contractions. So that's about it for this week's update. I will go ahead and insert an update on my bump for you guys. It's crazy to think that he could really be born any day now, and we're now in March, which means even if I go over my due date, he's definitely going to be born this month. And it's so crazy, and this all feels so surreal. I have no idea if this is going to be my last pregnancy update or not, but I've still been enjoying every moment of this pregnancy, and I'm just super grateful for all of this and this whole experience. If you are currently pregnant, let me know in the comments down below and talk to me about how you're feeling. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss any of my other updates or videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!